This is a character that I grew up watching, and from Kenan and Kel, we're gonna do Good Burger request for you guys. And I can't believe some of these characters are being brought up. And when I first started watching this movie, I didn't really think much of it because it's just with comparison and the comparison side. But I really enjoyed watching it. It's a funny movie. If you haven't seen it, it's an old 1997 Nickelodeon comedy movie called Good Burger, and I'm going to get into the backstory. I had so much fun creating this character request, and I wanted to do something a little bit different and add another live action character. And every different request or different characters are different. It's not the same character. It might just be me talking about it at the screen and whatnot. It's a better way to do the videos, and each sort of video with these characters are different. They all have a different backstory. They all have a different story to tell and different goals, and it helps you get to know the character for who they are. So maybe it's a character that you haven't seen from a show, maybe it's from a movie that you haven't shown. And what I came up with this series is because it'll help bring more character potential to the game itself. It's not about whoever can get into the game, whether or not they can get in. It adds more to what the developers can do to expand the roster and maybe have additional options of who they want to be able to get into the roster. So it's not just the same characters from a different show or from the same universe. They can expand and get other characters that people least expected to see in the roster. And I think he's one of them, and Ed is one of them. And I'm going to get into his backstory. We're going to be able to talk about this character, and I'm going to also share my ideas. Just as usual, you do not have to watch the full video. This is probably going to be a little bit longer, maybe potentially, but everything that I'm going to talk about in this character, is going to be in the description. And I'm going to start sharing the backstories as well. So if you guys want to read it yourself, you can. And if you want to check out the movie, you can. I definitely recommend it. And if you have watched Kenan and Kel, I think you'll really be a huge fan of Good Burger. Welcome to the Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order? And that's going to be one of the lines he's going to be able to say when you pick him. So I thought about that. It's just some kind of little bit of an idea, because instead of just having an announcer, that'll be a very unique idea.
Select your brawler.
So it's not just always the announcer announcing the character. Ed, he could say that, but every time you pick him, he could probably say, welcome to the Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order? It's gonna be fun. And I'm gonna reference a particular character that really, when you really think about it deeply, in another way, I'm going to reference a particular character that he reminds me of a very popular series. Some people might not agree, but if you actually watch the movie, you will probably get those kind of vibes from this particular character itself. So if you've seen Kenan and Kel, it's a different whole different sort of animal when you think of Good Burger in comparison to Kenan and Kel. So Ed, aka Kel Mitchell, is the main protagonist of this 1997 Nickelodeon comedy, Good Burger. And I really loved watching this, and I almost want to watch it again, just thinking about it. And I haven't even seen it in so long. And something else I want to share, I heard from this year that Good Burger 2 is in the works and under production. So I can't wait to see that. We could probably see that next year. So I hope that really is something true for this particular character in this series. And I love this movie. It's just super fun. But so much fun to watch and just different things that go on. But Ed is a 3-year member and a 3-year employee of Good Burger. And he's very likable to everyone. Yeah, he's a little bit goofy, and I'm going to get ready to share more. But the goal of Good Burger was to put an end to the new fast food restaurant, Mondo Burger, that was trying so hard to steal Ed's secret sauce. The character that I'm talking about, Ed, he was the ace factor for Good Burger. Even though he's been there for 3 years, he just so happened to come up with some kind of unique idea with the special sauce. What's in the sauce? Lemon juice and ketchup. A little bit different. It almost makes you want to try it. But this particular sauce on the burgers that they put on the Good Burger, at Good Burger, attracted so many people and it was the difference maker of attracting all these different customers. And Mondo Burger didn't really like the amount of traction that it was getting, so they wanted to go over there and see what's up. So they had the audacity. This guy Kurt Boswell, who is the antagonist or main antagonist of the movie, he sent out henchmen and even tried to lure someone, to a secret spy, to go over to Good Burger to try to get Ed to reveal his secrets to his sauce and use him. So Kurt Boswell and his company, or his business, restaurant business of Mondo Burger, can shut down Good Burger and put an end to it for good. So he even sent a spy, Roxanne, to try to lure him and to, baiting him and all types of different things to get him to reveal his secrets of the sauce. But I don't want to get too much into it because I want you guys to be able to watch the movie. I definitely recommend it, and it's just so funny and it's definitely well written. And he's just a goofy character, just like I said. And when I watch this and think about it, as I was working on this character, it made me think of what SpongeBob actually is today. Ed from Good Burger is basically SpongeBob in a whole different world, in a different universe. And the reason why I came up with this comparison is because see how SpongeBob, he's goofy and he's nice and he works at the Krusty Krab. He's the fry cook and he's the reason why Krusty Krab is booming. See what I'm talking about? Mr. Krabs and Squidward are not gonna keep Krusty Krab up and running. It's because of SpongeBob. And when you think about Good Burger, it was Ed's secret sauce is the reason why Good Burger blew up and went off to new heights, to put an end to Mondo Burger, and Mondo Burger getting all curious, trying to run them out of business. They couldn't compete with Ed's secret sauce with this lemon juice and ketchup. His secret sauce was the key. Ed was the key to Good Burger. See what I'm getting at? See the references and the comparison? Not even just because of what he could do for the business, his goofy personality and his generosity. So it made him stand out. So I think SpongeBob is Ed from Good Burger. Not because of his abilities, but also his abilities of what he does for the business of Krusty Krab. He's Ed personality wise. So the only difference is he's not a sponge, but he's Ed basically. Now you wouldn't understand that comparison until you actually watch the movie to see how he acts. Ed is basically SpongeBob. And I think that's probably how they came up with that little idea. Yeah, it's a different creator and all that, but it makes you feel that vibe. You get those same vibes when you watch Good Burger from Ed to see how he acts. He's basically SpongeBob. So that's why I was able to pick up that vibe and that comparison. So that's just when you get to know the character and see the movie and how he acts and how nice he is. And he was an ace factor. Just like SpongeBob is an ace factor for the Krusty Krab. If without SpongeBob, there is no Krusty Krab. Mr. Krabs ain't gonna get nothing. See what I'm talking about? And then the Good Burger's go-to guy was Ed because of his sauce. That's how I made the comparison. Both the personality and just their ability and their talent. So that's the whole backstory and just the whole little synopsis of the movie, basically. And I'll have that in the description. You guys got to check it out. I definitely recommend it. It's super fun and just a funny show. I love it. It's just all the things that goes down and more. And I even gave him a little bit of a goofy moveset to make it to fit the character and make it more realistic, being someone part of the Good Burger movie. So the stages, it's only one stage. I only selected Good Burger, and because it'd be more ideal. And they did it for Tremerton. As far as just the city and the neighborhood. I'm sure they can do it for the Good Burger restaurant. Probably just be inside. They could definitely take that design from the indoors, from the inside. Since they couldn't do it for the candy bar and Jimmy Neutron, maybe they can do the inside and the indoors of the Good Burger restaurant in the background. It'll be awesome to see. and I think it'll really look good, and just the character model himself, some of these characters that get in, because everybody looks good from the model and the design for the graphics. But now, time for the alternate costumes. I wanted to play around with his outfit. And in the movie, when you go to watch, he wears a blue and white striped shirt paired with white pants, and with a tie. He ended up wearing this particular tie when he was on a date with Roxanne, who was a secret spy for the Mondo Burger. But he still had his other original outfit, part of Good Burger. So I thought that would be a cool little unique, a cool, quick, and easy alternate costume for the developers to add in his dark blue tie that had a different sort of design on it. I don't know if it had different types of food on it. I gotta go back and look. But they can add that into the game as a quick little alternate costume, just in case it's only one. But just with the same Reptar reference, because he's the only one with a color variation in a way. I thought that maybe they could play around with the colors of his employee outfit and have different color stripes. So his striped shirt will be a completely different color, and his pants will change, and also his shoes, if they want to play around with the different color variations. And then, since I watched Kenan Kel, I thought that'll be a nice little alternate skin. He could come out as Ed from Good Burger, but his other unique alternate costume for paid DLC put on the shop or something like that, he could come out as Kel Mitchell and wear some of the clothes that he wears, his different outfits, in his head, his hat turned to the side and his hat backwards from Kenan and Kel, so they can reference the show by giving him a different alternate costume. And then the taunts and animations, we're going to get into that. I just thought of that as just some little cool little alternate costumes. Not sure if they're going to get that Kel race reference. I'm not sure. But I thought that'll be a nice little crossover that they can do from Kenan and Kel to be included, because he's still the same character. He's Kel Mitchell in Good Burger, but he has a different name and a whole different, goofier personality. So taunts and animations, and I also implemented that for the character itself, for his moveset and the things that he loves. Just watching the show and the movie all together, you know. So taunts and animations. He said, "Welcome to the Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?" It could be something funny and a unique sort of add-on for his update, his own exclusive update. When you pick the character, he could say that. Or maybe it could be a potential winning animation. There's something that he could say, holding out a burger or something like that, and some food. And then some arcade quotes and dialogues. I just love just adding these in there, just for the additional voice lines they can have. When he was told to get in the back to create a sauce, because no one knew about his sauce, and except his friend Dexter, his best friend Dexter, who worked with him at Good Burger, introduced everybody else in the business, even the boss himself, to try out his sauce, his brand new secret sauce. And it was so good, they wanted him to keep on making it and creating that sauce, because it was attracting so many more people, and even they all loved it too. So it was one of his lines, "It shall be done," just before he started working on the sauce. And then one of his iconic lines, just being the character himself, another Kenan and Kel reference. Every time the show is about to get ready to begin, "Oh, here it go." He always says that. "Oh, here it goes." It's always, every single episode. It never gets old, because the show is about to get ready to begin, and he gets so hesitant on stage during Kenan and Kel. He could say that, and they can be able to have those different crossovers from the show and then the movie itself combined into one character who is the same character. And then, just with another reference, "Who loves orange soda?" And I put this in as part of his moves, as not even just a character from Good Burger, but just the character himself, to have that different crossover to fit the actor, to fit the live action character for this DLC. And something else that I wanted to be able to add to be a little bit different. I originally thought that Hugh Neutron would have some kind of taunt where he eats the pie or something like that, the pie or the donuts. There's no eating animations in this. So I thought maybe Ed can have his own different exclusive eating animations to make him even more worth the bang for the buck. You see what I'm saying? So I'd rather just add this in to make this sort of request a little bit different. New eating animations, and he could be the first character to eat during his taunts and his moveset as well, which I'm about to get ready to get into in a few seconds. He could have eating animations to combo with his orange soda. So it's not going to be an animation, it's going to tie into his moveset. So now we're going to get into his abilities now. So let's start with Ed's secret sauce. I thought I'd put it in as a little range attack for him, where Ed can reveal his famous sauce to spray the enemy for a huge knockback. So that lemon juice mixed with ketchup, he can use that sauce and spray you with it to knock you back. Just some little goofy little moves. And then he can take some of the good burgers, some of the delicious good burgers. Come on down to the good burger. Get you some of the good burgers and fries. And I thought that would be added into his moveset for a little bit of fun. Ed can throw good burgers and french fries horizontally across the screen while airborne. So he can do it while he's on the ground and then also while airborne as a little bit of a projectile attack. So projectile attacks. And then just a tie-in, it'll be perfect for this character. A special orange soda ability where Ed, if you haven't even seen Kenan Kel before, he had an obsession with orange soda. So he could show his love for orange soda and by drinking it. So that's why I comboed it with not only just an animation for a taunt when he's eating or something like that. He could eat one of the good burgers as a little quick little funny taunt to be part of the unique eating animations. The orange soda special ability, when he drinks this soda, his orange soda, he's going to gain an attack and defensive bonus for a limited amount of time. So he's going to be able to take more, and then he's going to also be able to deal even more damage to you, to the enemy or anybody that he's facing, to all players on the field from this special orange soda. So see how the devs can really be able to implement that, and that's something that he really loved from the show, and just other things that they can reference. It's a nice crossover to be able to get into it. So orange soda to be able to be mixed into his ability, and then as a special little ability, and then once he uses this, of course, it goes on a cooldown period. So that way it's balanced, and the player can't continuously drink orange soda over and over and just be able to destroy everything in sight and just spam the same move over and over. So that way it fits the balance. But I added his next move to try to make it a little bit more realistic as a cashier in the movie way before he started making this sauce. It made me think of Cat Dog. See how they use his up strong with the stereo speakers that they use. Let's have Ed use a cash register, one of the cash registers at Good Burger, because he's a cashier way before he even revealed his secret sauce during his lunch break. Ed can launch the enemy upward with a cash register, and then on top of that, for some chip damage, how about a little bit of coins coming out of the cash register that can fly everywhere to inflict chip damage to nearby players? So I came up with that. So see how the devs can be a little bit creative. He's not going to just hit you with a cash register with his up strong. Anybody that's near it, the coins and the change out of the cash register are going to come flying out. So I thought that'll be something unique. It made me think of Cat Dog's different strong move, his strong attack, and that'll be really fun. It's really funny to see. And they can make that. So it's on, and they can just definitely make those different sound effects for it. It makes the character even more funny and goofy. And since how you hear the ducks that you throw with Hugh Neutron, see how they added those different sound effects? You can do that with the cash register for his order up ability. See what I'm saying? Now, this next move, before I get into his recovery to wrap up, I was thinking about, I'll just go there. I was thinking about Taz from Multiverses. I was thinking about um well, I'll just say with this particular character, Taz uses the salt and pepper combo for his 3-hit attack or 3-hit combo in Multiverses, and then I went to thinking about Inkling from Splatoon and Super Smash Bros. To come up with this idea. And I thought ketchup and mustard could be implemented in his attack with a status effect. So I'm gonna get into it. So Ed can attack with a 3-hit combo with a bottle of ketchup and mustard. And the effect that I was thinking about, see how Inkling effect causes the inked effect where you can inflict more damage on opponents or enemies that are full of ink or has ink on them, here on him or her. You see what I'm saying? So I thought Ed can create a sauce effect with his ketchup and mustard. So the opponent who's been inflicted with the sauce effect, Ed can deal more damage with his attacks for that person that's filled with ketchup and mustard. So they gonna be red and yellow. Red Tar could be red and yellow, and with ketchup and mustard with some of these characters in the game, it'll be really funny to see. But I think it'll also be unique, a nice little reference to some of those characters to make you think about them. So I was really thinking about more of Inkling from Super Smash Bros. From the Splatoon series for this particular attack for ketchup and mustard. Really funny and goofy, but you definitely don't want to get hit by the ketchup and mustard bottles, because as he continues to tag you up with ketchup and mustard, you're just going to be full of sauce. And you get that sauce effect, and then you're going to be even more, you're going to have even more of a knockback influence on those characters. So you might want to watch out. So I thought this would be something funny just to take from the restaurant, something like that. I was trying to come up with different things, but I thought this would be very unique. And then just with Taz, with the salt and pepper, he can turn you into a turkey. So they could take something like that. Maybe he can turn you into a good burger. But I didn't want to add that. So I just did the little sauce effect where the enemy can be filled up with ketchup, will be inflicted with the sauce effect, but have ketchup and mustard on them. So you definitely don't want to get hit anymore and try to wait for it to go away after a few seconds. So I just wanted to add that for a little bit of a moveset, and just for a recovery, just watching the movie from Good Burger. When he's trying to get to where he needs to go, he has to get up for work and goes to Good Burger, and he goes around the neighborhood where he lives in the Good Burger movie on roller skates. So he's skating through the movie, he's skating through the streets and to get to where he needs to go. So I thought a roller skating recovery move could be used to save his life in the game, to be able to recover and get back on the stage. So it references the movie, so I couldn't really think of anything of how he could recover in and get back into the stage. I just thought this would be really funny to see. So Ed can use his roller skates that he did in the movie, nice little reference, to get where he needs to go. So he can glide on his skates. There's nobody in this game that skates, but the only character that comes to mind that's closer to skating is the surfboard when Sandy's surfing on her board for a little bit of a running attack. Maybe this could be a running attack, but I think it'll be more funny to see him on his skates to glide back into the stage to be able to get back into the action. So those are all the ideas that I came up with. Everything is just going to be in the description for you guys. I had so much fun with this character. It was a little bit tough to try to come up with different ideas, but just the references and just the vibes of Ed himself makes me think of SpongeBob, and of how he acts, and just the reason why the Krusty Krab is where it is because of SpongeBob. It's not Squidward, it's not Mr. Krabs, it's because of SpongeBob. So it made me think of the same thing in regards to the fates of Good Burger with Ed's secret sauce. If Ed wasn't around and didn't come up with that, Good Burger would be over and done with. Same thing can be said for Krusty Krab and SpongeBob. And it also relates because it was an actual episode where he was working for Plankton, and Mr. Krabs actually said, "I'm a wreck without you." So he needs SpongeBob. Good Burger needs Ed. It needed him. And that secret sauce. He's a difference maker. And that's why I think personality rise, just like I said before. When you watch this movie, you're gonna think of him as SpongeBob. So it's a really nice movie. I really enjoyed watching it, and I'm excited for the sequel. I hope it comes out next year. And it was crazy because once I was just doing some research, it just so happened to pop up. Good Burger 2 or a sequel is actually in the works and confirmed to be being in production. So I really have fun with this character. I hope he gets in, or maybe it'll be awesome to see another live action character. It's another choice that could be goofy, just like Hugh Neutron, and it's just another option that they can go way back in time to add characters like him. And I think his character model is gonna look really good in this game. It'll be really awesome because they all look good. Just with the colors, it's just very colorful. It's just super fun to see, and it's just more options for the developers to bring more to the table. And his voice lines is gonna be funny, and just all his different moves. I'm sure he's gonna be a really good character.